Good morning, everybody. I'd like to call the first meeting of the year to order. Happy New Year, everybody. I know we're having a little social hour here. It's good to see everybody after the holidays and catch up a little bit. So I apologize for starting a little bit late. We're going to start this meeting off, however, with the CVR Safe Board meeting, and appreciate everybody being here. I want to ask Director Sander if you wouldn't mind leading us in the pledge, please.
Ready? Salutes.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sunday.
All right, excellent. Lynette, can we go ahead and take the roll, please?
Yes, thank you. Good morning.
Morning.
Director Andreatta,
Present.
Baines,
Present.
Boomgarden,
Present.
Bradford,
Here.
Branscombe,
Yes.
Houlihan,
Here.
Chapdelaine,
Here.
Chapman,
Here.
Clark Kretz,
Here.
Clarici,
Yo.
Desmond, Dowden Calvillo,
Present.
Early,
Here.
Howdeshelt, absent Hume,
Here.
Jennings absent Jones,
Here.
Kennedy, absent Kozlowski, absent Lauren,
Here.
Talamantes for Maple,
Here.
McCully,
Here.
Rodriguez absent Sander,
Here.
Schaefer absent Teeter,
Here.
Camp,
Here.
Vega, Viegas,
Here.
Safe Director Rickman, absent Safe Director Singh, absent Vice Chair Gallardo,
Here.
Chair Soon,
Here.
and ex officio member Seves.
Here.
Thank you. We do have a quorum.
Okay, thank you very much. Moving on to public communications. Again, this is for the CVR Safe Board meeting. If there's any members of the public who'd like to comment on any items not on the agenda, please make it known now. Anybody want to comment?
There's no public comment.
Okay, very good. We'll bring it back to the board here. For disclosures, are there any directors who need to disclose any conflicts of interest on this item, on the agenda items here? Seeing none, hearing none. Move on to our consent calendar. Anyone like to remove an item for, or move any of the items for discussion on consent? If not, accept the motion.
Move to approve.
Okay. Okay, I think I heard move to Baines first, and then we'll give it to Lauren as a second. And I don't hear our San Joaquin County reps on the call, so we can go ahead and do a voice vote here. Is that correct? All right. I have a second, again, a motion from Director Baines, second from Director Lauren. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Great. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, now on to our action items. We have a item, reject all bids received and approve re-release of a notice inviting bids for CVR Safe System call box removals and site remediations. Barbara Van Bechtel, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Barbara Von Bechtold. I'm the CVR Safe Program Manager here at SACOG. And last year in June, the CVR Safe Board approved the removal of all the roadside and trail side call boxes in the CVR Safe system. And along with that, a release of a notice inviting bids for that call box removal project. Last week on January 7th, CVR Safe held a public bid opening to select a contractor for the project. Unfortunately, during that, we had technical difficulties with the virtual bid opening that we were holding, preventing some of the bidders from accessing that virtual meeting. And then also one of the bids we received before the due time was not opened. So on the recommendation of our council, we need to come to all of you today and ask the CVR Safe Board to reject all of the bids we received and then approve the re-release of that notice inviting bids for the call box removal project. And to prevent any issues in the future, we're going to hold all of our bid openings here in person only, so we don't have any technical difficulties. And then also we're improving our process for receiving those bids when they come in to make sure that we don't miss any of them and have them not be open when we do the bid openings. So with that, we're requesting again to reject all the bids we received last week at the January 7th bid opening, and then also the allowance to re-release the notice inviting bids for the call box removal project.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate your care and attention to this process. Are there any questions for Ms. Van Beckhoff? All right. Any comments from the public, Lynette?
There's no public comment.
All right.
Move to approve staff's recommendation.
Okay. All right. I have a move to approve from Director Baines, second from Dowden Calvillo. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstain? Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, that was our only action item. I'm going to go ahead and adjourn the CVR Safe board meeting and convene our SACOG board of directors meeting. Welcome everyone again. Madam Clerk, can we go ahead and just confirm the role for this meeting?
Yes, thank you. If I could just take the roll again, because we have had a couple of people come in.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
Thank you. Director Andreatta,
Present.
Baines,
Present.
Boomgarden,
Present.
Bradford,
Here.
Branscombe,
Aye.
Houlihan,
Here.
Chapdelaine,
Here.
Chapman,
Here.
Clark Kretz,
Here.
Clarici,
Here.
Desmond, Dowden Calvillo, Early, Howdeshelt,
Here.
Hume,
Here.
Jennings absent, Jones,
Here.
Kennedy, Kozlowski, absent, Lauren,
Here.
Maple, Maple's absent, Talamontes for Maple.
Here.
McCully,
Here.
Rodriguez absent, Sander.
Here.
Schaefer absent, Teeter.
Here.
Veerkamp,
Here.
Vega,
Here.
Villegas,
Here.
Vice Chair Gallardo,
Here.
Chair Soon,
Here.
and ex officio member Aceves.
Here.
Thank you. We do have a quorum, just for the record.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. Moving on to public communications for this board meeting. Are there any members of the public who wish to speak on items not on the agenda? I don't see anybody, and we don't have anybody online. I can.
No, no one's online and there's no public comment.
Very good. All right, and disclosures for items on the agenda for the SACOG board meeting. Do any members need to make any declarations known there? Seeing none, hearing none. Move on to an item that at least I've been waiting for. I think all of you are too. It's time to induct our new board leadership. Vice Chair Gallardo and chair-elect and incoming Vice Chair-elect Bradford. If I could ask you, Ms. Chair-elect Gallardo, to please go to the podium and join Mr. Corliss. And then Director Bradford, you'll join after. Okay.
This feels like a long walk.
Yeah, right.
Chair-elect Gallardo, please repeat after me. I, Jill Gallardo, do solemnly swear
I, Jill Gallardo, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California,
to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yay.
I've learned in the last 3 years I've been doing this that shorter chunks are better. The full sentences tend to throw people. Repeat that for me. I, Gary Bradford, do solemnly swear
I, Gary Bradford, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California,
to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm going to be the first to say congratulations to our new Chair Galdo and Vice Chair Bradford. We are excited to have you leading us at the helm at this year in 2026. Here you go.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, I guess I should turn this one on. Thank you so much. Any comments, I think the best thing is the very first thing I get to do is recognize our outgoing chair. And we'll start with James Corliss. If you would meet him at the podium,
Okay.
You get that long.
Onto
one.
the wall.
Yeah. Am I the shortest person in here?
Got a lot of stuff for you here, Darren. It's a
Goodness.
lot.
Wow. Was not expecting that.
I just want to say I'll start here and make a couple of these presentations, but I so appreciate working with you over the last year, really the last 8 years. We kind of joined SACOG just about the same time, but and of the many things I enjoyed about working with Darren, the many was the fact that, and I don't know how all of you have an elected official job and also have another job at the same time. I'm not sure how that works. So you'll have to write a book about it sometime. But Darren, obviously, after serving in the state legislature, went on the other side and started running the San Joaquin County Flood Control District, right? And so you and I actually had similar hats, although different hats. And I think one of the things you said to me early on is every elected official should be a staff person at some point. You learn a lot. But I want to thank you for your counsel, for your time, for always being there, always picking up the phone, and really giving such thoughtful advice and leadership and leading the board. You've been so passionate about this region, about getting out, and I want to congratulate you that you presided over the first SACOG board meeting in a barn. So thank you, Angela Teeter. We have a few things here just to acknowledge your service. This is the SACOG plaque, just acknowledging your chairmanship for the board of directors. We always do a couple of fun things, and our staff got together and given your passion about getting out around the region, this is a Dr. Seuss, Oh, the Places You'll Go. There it is up on the screen. The places Darren has all led you to over the last 12 months, muddy fields and all kinds of the growth factory in Rockland and many other places. So you're not going to be able to carry all of these things. And then finally, I know this will mean a lot to you. This is a California State Senate resolution from Senator Angelique Ashby, just commemorating your service to the board, to your jurisdiction, to your city, and to the entire region, and your amazing leadership. So thank you from Senator Ashby and from all of us on staff. I know our staff here has been just tremendously thankful for your engagement, your positivity, your support. So thank you again.
Wow, I did not expect all of this. It was certainly an honor to be on this board from the beginning, since being in my tenure, and to serve all of you. And I mean, people have come on and off this board, and everybody, I think, is passionate about the jurisdictions that they represent. And they come in here, and we take this regional approach to things. but they're all on topics that we're passionate about, right? Transportation and land use and housing. And so James and team at SACOG, we couldn't do any of the work we do without obviously your hard work. And James, you've been a fantastic leader since you came on board here as well. We get around the region. That was something that you made it a point to do since you came on board. And I've always appreciated that. So anyways, it's just really been an honor to serve on this board and be your chair last year. Anyway, I'm just humbled by it all, and I look forward to serving with you under this new leadership in this current year and hopefully a little bit longer. So thank you very much, everybody.
And of course, Darren, before you get too far, I do want to open it up if anyone wanted to share any thoughts about all the good thoughts about Darren, please.
Still be here.
Director Downview.
Yes. Oh, there you are on the podium. I just wanted to tell you how much I appreciate your enthusiasm, your energy. I know that you have another job similar to the one that I have and how difficult it can be. But like James said, you were always available, tremendous leadership, appreciated our friendship. And it was just a pleasure working with you as chair of the policy committee. Had an opportunity to serve with you and our incoming chair now in the leadership capacity and really enjoyed that. So thank you for your leadership and your dedication. And I hope things are a little bit easier this year for you. So thank you so much, Dan.
Thanks, Alice.
Yes, Director Clark-Ritz.
Thank you. I remember meeting you quite a while ago on my first round with SACOG. And one of the things that I was so incredibly grateful for was your kindness and your welcoming. And then coming back and seeing you run and be chair, I was very proud of you. I think you did a fantastic job. And I've noticed how you make everybody feel so comfortable, and you're a gentleman, and I've loved working with you. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, Oscar, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say congratulations, Darren. I've also known Darren for many, many years. In fact, before he even ran for city council in Elk Grove, we had a conversation. You may not remember, but your first question was, how do you balance a daytime job with a family with elected office? And I said, well, everybody does it a little bit differently. You'll figure it out as you get there. And then fast forward almost 15 years later, I asked him the same question because he was doing it and doing it all and doing it well. And so I think it's just been fun to watch, been fun to be fun to be a friend, now to be a colleague. And I'm super proud of you, man. Thank you so much for your work.
Thank you.
Director Hu.
Thank you. Well, kind of to punctuate that point, Darren was having a little bit of strife in his professional situation at the same time that he was in line for leadership here in this organization. And he was really weighing whether or not to take a particular job or to hang on to be chair of SACOG. So he was willing to stand in the soup line just so he could be chair of this organization. I know this has been an aspirational goal for a long time, Darren, and I just want to let you know I'm here as your friend. If you go through postpartum depression and you need to talk about regional planning and transportation issues, I'm here for you, buddy.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, yes, please. I hear a voice.
Yes, me in the corner. I remember when we first met as well, and just how welcoming you were then, and you didn't know me, and how over the years I've gotten a chance to not only get to know you, but to be colleagues, right, regionally, and then to be able to be colleagues here. And I think you just have this unique ability to make people feel seen and to feel heard. And I think it's your superpower. And I absolutely love being your friend, and also have enjoyed immensely serving with you and you being our chair. So thank you so much, and congratulations.
Thank you, Dante. Likewise.
Vice Chair Bradford.
Just want to say thank you for your outstanding leadership, not just this last year, but just across the region for many years, for your friendship, for your dedication to the region and everyone in it, including your dedication to the people in this room and our mission together, your humbleness, your friendliness, as has been brought up by multiple people, very welcoming. That I don't think there's a person in this room that wouldn't count you as a friend. And so greatly appreciate that. You've continued to set the bar for leadership in this organization extremely high. And so thank you, and I appreciate that.
Thank you, Vice Chair.
Thank you. Yes, please.
Darren, I wanted to remind you, I was new a couple years ago, and so we were invited to James' house for a mixer and open house. It's the first time I really got to know you, and you did touch my life as well, and you made me feel so welcome and broke the ice, because the first time somebody comes here with all of these great folks, they're all very intimidating. And so I just wanted to thank you for that, for making me feel welcome in the governing body.
Thank you.
Director Desmond.
I do just hope now you'll have a little time to work on your golf game, because you desperately need it.
True statement. Yes. Thanks, Rich.
I am absolutely, I'm absolutely confident that this is painful for you to stand there and hear this, which is why we're enjoying it this month. But if none else, I will get you off that hot seat and let you join us back. But I just also wanted to tell you, thank you so much. And quite honestly, to tell everyone here, thank you for, I've been so fortunate with Director Jennings and with Director Soon to be able to watch what is the way to do this and the personal approach of a way to do this. And I think, as I told you on the phone, you were so normal and human being about this. Thank you. As Director Jones said, when you're coming in new, it's so intimidating with this group and learning that, the vernacular and how to get caught up. And you just made it very, very confident and pleasant for everybody. And you did a fantastic job. And I appreciate you giving that leadership examples. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you all for the very, very kind comments. Appreciate you all.
As he's doing the long walk back, I just want to thank everyone here for your confidence and trust in me. The classic today was when I was on the phone driving here and talking to my sister in Salt Lake, and she's like, "What is this you're doing? And we've never heard of it." I go, "I know, no one's ever heard of this, but if it goes wrong, you'll hear about it, and it'll be me in the news." I can tell you, when I first came to, it didn't feel like this group was as cohesive as I really feel like we're there now. We all come from different jurisdictions. Our job is to support those jurisdictions. But when we're here, we're a region. And I really feel like we're getting to that place where we know, yeah, we're going to have to make some adjustments, but we're here to make this region rise. And I'm so appreciative of that with everyone. I am thrilled. Oh, and by the way, and he's going to hate me for doing this, but I have to introduce my new 2026 mayor for the city of Rockland, Assistant District Attorney Dave Bass, who works here in Sacramento. I'm so pleased with our leadership team in our city. I was trying to think if anyone from Rockland has chaired this group, and the only thing I can think of is perhaps Peter Hill, maybe in the 80s, early 90s. And so I'm very pleased to have Rockland back being represented. And I'm not certain, but I'm going to have to find out. But I have to tell you what most exciting for me, honestly, is the leadership team that we have working. I feel like I have such a great partner here with Director Bradford, Vice Chair Bradford. We have to practice that. But I want to thank everybody, and in particular, when we're looking at the committees, it's, you try to do the balance so that the numbers are pretty even, try to acknowledge seniority for people who've been here for a while to get there. I feel like our leadership team is a home run. So thank you to Directors Dowden, Calvillo, Kozlowski, and Desmond. Thank you so much for stepping up to serve as our committee chairs. You'll see the roster. Director Vegas for staying with CalCog and representing us well there. Also for our Mega Region Working Group, you'll be the proposed chair. Thank you so much, Director Baines, Howdeshell, and Schaefer for stepping up to serve on that. If you have any questions or concerns with your assignments, you've got them here. Please talk to myself or to our clerk, and we'll see if we can make anything work for you. We have some exciting stuff this year.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Do we have a piece of paper with this?
Thank
'Cause
you. I
didn't
was
s-
asking the
I
same
didn't see a
question.
link in the
Oh.
agenda, item, so.
We will get a,
Talking
I got one. Why
which
are
one
you
am I
guys
on?
at? Yeah. I
we
think-
will get one distributed to
I
you
can't
during this
reject
meeting.
my
Sorry, they're
submittal
coming.
without-
And emailed as well.
Hey, well, just guess, they were perfect then. Everybody's good. Thank you for getting those out to there. As you know, we've got some exciting off-site board meetings. So March, West Sacramento, and in June, El Dorado County. And you know, the bar has been raised, so you either have to zip line or ride a scooter. And then September, Sutter County. And then also, as you know, we have our peer region tour, June 24th to the 26th, scheduled for the Twin Cities in Minneapolis, St. Paul, because there's nothing happening that yeah. So we're acknowledge that there's a concern, and we'll be watching closely to make sure that that's the right location and the right timing for us. But that is the plan at this time. So if you have any questions, let us know. Other than that, we'll move on and we'll go to the consent calendar if we can. All right. Anybody have anything they'd like to pull off the consent calendar? Any questions? Anyone from the public have any questions on the consent calendar?
There's no public comment on that calendar.
Thank you. Then I will bring it back and look for a motion.
Move to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Baines and Soon, motion to approve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Our first action item is our public hearing and on unmet transit needs in Sacramento, Sutter, Yolo, and Yuba counties, and the cities that are therein. And Barbara Von Bechtold will be our presenter.
Used to be Barbara Bechtold. That was a long time ago, though. So Barbara Von Bechtold, I'm on the transportation team here at SACOG. And so the Transportation Development Act, the State Transportation Development Act, as the four-county regional transportation planning agency, SACOG must hold an unmet transit needs hearing for Sacramento, Sutter, Yolo, and Yuba counties and all the cities within, as well as the Sacramento Regional Transit District. A similar process is conducted in El Dorado County by the El Dorado County Transportation Commission and in Placer County by the Placer County Transportation Planning Agency. SACOG has to hold this final public hearing before our board of directors prior to the unmet transit needs findings that apply to our coming fiscal year in 26-27 being finalized. And we hold this hearing before we bring the recommended findings to the board next month in February to allow any time to analyze any new comments that we received today. So we request that you open the public hearing for unmet transit needs for the board applying to fiscal year 26-27.
Thank you. We'll officially open the public hearing. Madam Clerk, do we have any comments on this item?
There's no public comment.
Thank you. Well, the public hearing is now closed. Thank you. And there is no board action to be taken on this item at this time. Next up is our first information item, and it's our Youth Leadership Academy, and Rosie Ramos will be our presenter. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Chair Geraldo, Vice Chair Bradford. My name is Rosie Ramos. I am your staff here on the External Relations team at SACOG, and I'm happy to be here to do a quick update on the Youth Leadership Academy. For those of you not familiar with the program, this is our effort for connecting with the young leaders in this region. We bring them into the program and showcase what the regional planning work that SACOG is, and all of the agencies and the partnerships that we have and how it contributes to everyday life and the worlds that they live in. This year is going to be our 8th cohort, and they will join over 250 students that have been alumni now. From across the region. The program will focus on the core pillars of the 2025 Blueprint, equity, economy, environment, and we'll plan to host various panels made up of your local staff, agency, and community partners, and hopefully some of you, including state and congressional representatives as well. We will be talking about housing and economic development, environmental justice, transportation, of course, and balance out their general insight into what the world of planning is, the processes that they have to sort of know and how things get decided, and hopefully encourage them to use their voice, speak out on their community, and maybe sit here in a few years when they're ready to take on these new leadership roles. We're going to be accepting applications from now until March 1st. So the cohort kicks off in April, and we're looking for 40 students to join the program. So we want to have a good regional representation. So the ask today from you all is that you share this information widely at your local communities. There's a flyer in paper. If you need more, you can print some more copies. You'll have a digital version as well. There's a toolkit with language that you could just copy and paste into emails, newsletters. And we really encourage you to reach out to your superintendents, your school boards, your community leaders, nonprofits, any youth-facing or serving entity, please do share it with them. We will do the same. We reach out. We have a long listserv now of folks that we've been reaching out to over the years. We tend to get about anywhere from 60 to 100 applications, just depends on the year. So it is competitive. The application is relatively easy, and we want it to be for students that don't necessarily have experience, that want to get exposed to this world of local government, politics, planning. So reach out to your folks. Let us know if you need anything from us, if we need to do presentation or you need more materials. We're happy to jump in and help how we can. Just a little bit of the logistics. The programs are Wednesdays in the evening, 6 to 7, and then 4 Saturdays over April and May. And they'll be like 9 to noon-ish. So if you ever want to join us, please let me know. Reach out, shoot me an email if you want to be a speaker, or if there's a cool project or something going on in your community that you would like us to highlight. We would be happy to share and create some content around that. That's pretty much it. Happy to take any questions if anyone has it. And yeah, we'll be sending materials online as well, so you can repost, reshare across various platforms. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosie. Any questions?
Chair Galdo, if I can, especially for the newer board members, this is really one of the coolest things we do. And I know many of you have youth commissions in your jurisdictions. But just a few notes. Rosie does such a good job. Our staff does such a good job. We have students who come back serve as mentors and peer mentors. I've talked to YLA students, Youth Leadership Academy students who are now in college and have said, this academy actually changed what I know that I want to do with my life and my career. And it is just like this board, it is one of the few places we are able to get high school students from across the region to come together in one setting, right, across county. So we are very proud that we've had very good geographic diversity, which means this is all incumbent upon you to really, again, encourage those, your connections, as just Rosie said, anyone you know, to get high school students from across all 6 counties to participate in this. So. And if you ever think about or worry about the future and the next generation, you won't when you listen to our high school students from around the region. You probably know this already, but the YLA is a great example of that. And we're very proud of the program. And so looking forward to engagement from all of your jurisdictions.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Jill, I've got a question.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Dr. Jones.
Good morning, Rosie. My question is, what grade levels do you particularly attend?
So all of high school, 9th through 12th grade.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Chair,
Madam
Chair.
Haushaw.
kind of related, Mr. Corliss, do we ever do a citizens planning academy? Has there ever been thought to doing that? And would we be able to have the chair's sister, who doesn't know what SACOG is, come and be an inaugural member?
I'm looking down to our true veterans here. No,
There was a Citizens Academy. I participated in it in the late 90s.
So it was useless.
He's been waiting to say that all meeting. I teed it up.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
The first 20 minutes of my meeting and I've lost control. Thank you for that. And you can't sit by Bruce either. You're going to move your guys. Well, thank you, Rosie. I appreciate it. All right, next up is our advocacy update, and Bless Shepherd will be being our presenter. Welcome.
Good morning. There is a reason why I have this here. I will divulge at the end. Good morning to everyone. I'm Bless Shepherd, State Government Affairs Lead for SACOG, and I'm here to provide you with an update to and a look forward to SACOG's advocacy efforts related to SB 375. So just as a background and as a reminder, SB 375 is the state law that requires metropolitan planning organizations or MPOs to submit a sustainable community strategies, that's the SCS, every 4 years. So the SCSs are intended to demonstrate how regional growth patterns or land use, and transportation investments reduce greenhouse gas emissions from passenger vehicles, consistent with the targets set by the Air Resources Board. Let's give you a background on board direction. In 2023, SACOG sponsored Assembly Bill 350, which provided a 2-year extension to complete our most recent SES. That's our 2025 blueprint, which the board adopted last November. It's important to note that AB 350 applied only to this most recent SES. Once the plan was adopted, the state's schedule for our SES adoption reverted to the original timeline. As a result, SACOG's next plan must be adopted no later than December 2027. In October of 2024, the SACOG board discussed how to move forward given the challenges of that shortened timeline. Options included pursuing legislation to make AB 350 timeline permanent or proceeding with a 2027 adoption while engaging in a broader effort to revisit state policy. The board unanimously directed staff to move forward with a 2027 plan adoption date, and at the same time to engage with state and regional partners to revisit and update policies related to reducing transportation-related greenhouse gas emissions, particularly those policies that could jeopardize access to state transportation funding if regions do not meet their assigned GHG reduction targets. So that direction is now shaping how SACOG's advocacy on 375 goes. I want to give you a sense of our partners. To advance the board's vision, SACOG has been working diligently alongside our Big Four MPO partners. That's MTC in the Bay Area, SCAG in Southern California, SANDAG in San Diego, and CalCog. This collaboration has been pivotal in developing strategies that will update SB 375 to better align the process to focus on the implementation of regional investments that effectively reduce GHGs. We plan to use these strategies to develop legislation that we will co-sponsor this year. And the Big Four has also retained the expertise of former Senator Darrell Steinberg, he's the original author of SB 375, to guide our efforts. Together, we have engaged with key partners and interests, including builders, business leaders, and environmental and housing advocacy groups. The Big Four held constructive stakeholder meetings last year, 6 of them, with 5 or more actually, just this month. And we've been meeting multiple times a week and is currently drafting a bill outline to secure a potential author for our legislation. Let's give you a sense of process and timeline. The Big Four aims to introduce our co-sponsored reform bill in February. The bill will go through rigorous legislative processes, including hearings before policy and fiscal committees in the Assembly and Senate. That's likely from April through August. It must pass the full Assembly and Senate floors by August 31st, and it must be signed into law by September of 2026, September 30. We want to acknowledge that at last year's board retreat, we heard you loud and clear regarding the importance of a stronger board advocacy engagement. That feedback is directly shaping how we are approaching SB 375 legislation. Your involvement in this process is vital. It will amplify our efforts and ensure that our legislation resonates with legislators. Throughout 2026, there will be multiple opportunities for board members to help move the legislation forward, including engaging our SACOG delegates, meeting with legislators in the Senate and Assembly, testifying in committees, writing letters of support to the legislature and the governor, and talking to community partners. Your voices are crucial to driving this change, and we will work with you throughout the year on how and when your engagement is needed. This will be a big effort, and we will be asking for your help multiple times throughout the year. And we want to pause to recognize that this board has a strong track record of advocacy engagement. For example, in addition to all the board support to get Green Means Go funding, over the last 3 years, the board members have played an active role in supporting AB 350 in 2023, You helped secure funding for the YOLO 80 managed lane project. And in 2024, when there was a proposed 50% cut to the Regional Early Action Plan, or REAP, and that's what funds our Green Means Go program, that was averted. And with your help, the program ended up with only a 4% cut. So looking ahead, your involvement will be critical again throughout 2026. Again, many opportunities for your engagement to testify in committees, submit letters of support, reinforce our priorities and to key parties, and we'll work closely with you. So to that effect, we've updated our board relationship survey and provided you each with a copy. It's the purple packet on the table. And that's where the chocolate comes in. It's our incentive for those that fill it out and turn it in by the end of the meeting. Director Bulahan actually beat everybody. She was number one to finish it. Yay, Director Bulahan. So thank you, and look forward to getting the surveys from you all. And with that, I'll end and happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Well played on the chocolate. Any questions? What kind of chocolate?
Chair Gallardo, can I jump in a little bit just
Please.
in case some of you are going to have questions about process, because if you weren't here for AB 350, AB 350 was really the last big push this board did collectively as a region. And as Bless just walked through in detail, we couldn't have done it without the entire region involved. And that got repeated again, as Bless said, through holding on to our Green Means Go funding in the state legislature. So the policy committee, remember you have 3 standing committees. So our policy innovation committee is your legislative and advocacy committee. That committee will be the home committee for all of the SB 375 updates. We will be briefing frequently our chair, our vice chair, and the chair of the policy innovation committee. We'll be briefing the policy innovation committee probably just about every month on this legislation, and the full board as much as any of you want to be briefed. So again, this is going to be an all hands effort. This is not easy. This is a statewide coalition. Our staff here has really been doing a great job already at building a large table, as Bless just mentioned, and doing a lot of very targeted outreach to a lot of really important interest groups. And just another reminder, our next major update of our plan will be 2031, which is why we have a 5-year implementation plan. The 27 plan is nothing but a minor technical update. And we want to make sure your direction to us was to make sure that we update and modernize SB 375 so we don't lose state transportation funds. Because this is probably the last plan where we can reach that target if we don't reform and update and modernize. So happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? All right.
And oh, sorry.
I was just going to weigh in and say that I really appreciate staff putting these out, because this is really a way that you can help us in those efforts. If you have contacts or you want to be able to provide some written documentation or speaking, the policy committee would really appreciate that. So thank you very much for staff, and I hope that each and every one of you complete this, and we really will rely on your assistance as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Dr. Hume.
Just a question, will it come back to this board for weigh-in or?
Yes, yeah, like I was saying, the Policy and Innovation Committee is the home committee, so chaired by Director Dowden Cavillo, but this comes back to this board as much as you want it to come back. And the reason too that those sheets are so important, and maybe this is obvious, is you know how this works. When things get moving, we have 24 to 48 hours to turn around, and we don't want to waste your time on, oh, are you willing to call so-and-so? If we know that you have the ability and the willingness to, weigh in, it's super helpful. So again, truly, this can be an all hands effort and a team effort across all 6 counties.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Not. Thank you. Our next information item is our transportation funding, our look ahead for 2026, and Christina Spence is going to be presenting.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I want to first congratulate both you, Chair Gallardo and Vice Chair Bradford. Look forward to working with you in a busy year. And Director Desmond, I don't know if you got the short end of the stick on this, but it's going to be a busy year for Transportation Committee. So look forward to working with you as well. So as I mentioned, we have a lot coming through Transportation Committee and Board this year, but particularly with funding and grants, there's a lot that we're going to have to work on and make decisions on. And so wanted to give you just a little kind of look ahead of what some of the work is that will come forward this year. You know, one of the big things that we'll be doing is continuing to implement our revised funding round that we all went through for a few years. We did the state portion in 2025. 2026 will be all about the federal aspects of that. So running 3 different programs. The system performance, system preservation, and our next generation clean air program. We also are going to be running our active transportation program, which is a really big a program. We'll have a lot more funding. Last year, if you remember, it was very, very small compared to previous years. We anticipate there being more funding there, so more meaningful program and call for projects this year. Of course, we have our grant prioritization work that will continue on. So if you remember in December, you adopted a list of prioritized projects for the region for federal funds. So part of it is this year is continuing the support of those projects so we can make sure that those are going to get grant awards. There's also a state portion. We'll be opening up a call for projects to prioritize projects for SB1 state programs. That will be coming forward at some point this year towards the middle of the year. And then we'll be doing the federal one again in the fall and winter. So making that kind of an annual cycle around the latter part of the year. SB 125, also very important, still at the forefront for transit funding. We are due to do another allocation plan, which will come forward to the committee and board, I think next month, as well as continuing to complete our long-range financial sustainability plan, which is going to be very important for a lot of the work that we do in the latter half of the year and next year related to just transit and how we can support our transit partners in what is a really difficult time from a funding standpoint. At both the federal and state level. So continuing to put that at the top of the list for things to work on. And then lastly, if you remember 5 years ago, IIJA, bipartisan infrastructure law, that is set to expire this year, I think September of 2026. Congress at the federal level is working on reauthorization. We don't know what's going to happen with that, obviously, but this year will be really important for us as a group and a region to advocate and really let everybody know what our priorities are for the region. And I will say that participation in whatever events we have planned at the federal and state level is really important. And I'll put a flag out for cap to cap. Being in April this year with reauthorization discussions being very active at that time, that's a great opportunity for us as a region to come together and talk about what our priorities are and hopefully maybe influence how funding might come out to states and regions. Things like federal transit administration funding is one that's talked about a lot right now. The question of whether there's going to be more discretionary versus formula grants also at the federal level, also things that are being talked about. So as we start to formulate things with the cap to cap trip, we will bring that to you all for discussion to just get some kind of direction there. But there's lots of other things. There's mega region, which also is a good advocacy from the state standpoint, as well as more directed things like Placer Business Alliance for the Placer County representatives. That's another great trip to be able to advocate as we go through the year. So I anticipate both the board and the Transportation Committee being pretty active this year across the year. I've kind of broken down some of the key decisions, lots of, awards, adoption of guidelines and budgets and program details, but every quarter is going to be busy. And so, there's going to be a lot. It might come fast, but we really look forward to working with everybody on this. It's a really important thing. We're going to start, I think, in March with a budget for the first federal funding round program opening. I think it's a budget actually for all of them, but that's a big chunk of money that's going to be really important to a lot of the region's jurisdictions. So happy to answer any questions about all of this, but it will be busy and look forward to working with everyone.
Thank you. Questions for Christina? All right, seeing none. Thank you so much. All right, our last information item is the 2026 look ahead, and Casey's liaison will be presenting.
Thank you, Chair Gallardo. Good morning. So we gave you two specific previews of the year ahead because as hopefully you are able to tell, advocacy and transportation funding are going to take up a lot of time on your schedules. But you also have year one of your 5-year blueprint implementation. And so I'm actually going to give you a look ahead at the rest of the very important work that you're doing this year, just to give you a sense of what's coming, right? So all of this, as a reminder, is aligned to work towards your vision that this board adopted, right, of a vibrant and thriving Sacramento region for all. And we are fulfilling that through our mission to convene and connect the region. And I'm referencing also we've taken the work plan and tried to boil it down into 2 pages for you of the highlights of the things that are going to be coming to you or like have heavy engagement with partners. And so you can follow along on that handout that I have for you. So our blueprint, 2025 blueprint has 4 priority areas. Those are aligned with your strategic plan. That first of them is to build vibrant and inclusive places. And this year, that means that there's going to be a lot of discussion about housing. It's going to be led through the Land Use and Natural Resources Committee. But some key things I want to highlight for you in supporting local jurisdictions in providing housing solutions, right? One, you will be exploring a potential vehicle miles traveled mitigation strategy as a Green Means Go funding source. Again, this has been launched through the Land Use and Natural Resources Committee to explore that. We have focus groups going on now with a variety of stakeholders in the region. And so we'll be bringing that information to Lunar, and the board will be having deliberations and conversation about what they want to do with that. We will also be doing a lot of support to local agencies that have Green Means Go grants from the state. So those grants are supposed to be finishing up this year. So we want to be able to track what housing is constructed or unlocked by all of that and what lessons learned are there so that we can use that to continue to talk about the successes that this region has with that program when we are advocating at the state. The other part of housing is related to the regional housing needs allocation. So this year, we are also going to be working on preparing cities and counties and our partners for the upcoming cycle of RHNA. There'll be a lot of outreach, data, and consultation services being provided to members, and then some education, both for those of you who may not have gone through RHNA before or need a refresher, because it is every 8 years that it happens. And you'll be preparing for the first part of that, which is to receive in September a regional housing needs determination from the State Department of Housing and Community Development. So the second priority, fostering the next generation of mobility solutions. Well, a couple of the big things that are going to be focused on this year are transit. So Christina had mentioned SB 125, supporting the financial stability of transit providers. So we're going to be both finishing out that allocation, as she said, but also you'll be adopting a long-term financial plan and recovery strategy for transit later this year. There's also an update to the allocation process for Federal Transit Administration funds, and we're updating the planning and coordination MOUs with every transit agency in the region. So a lot of engagement with our transit partners. You also are going to be taking a final action on the mobility zones project. So a lot of meaningful engagement work has been happening. You'll have the pilot of projects to fund coming to you in March, and then we will also be debriefing on the lessons learned from all of that engagement because it is a very unique and high level of engagement we've done. We want to see what can be applied to the rest of the work that's SACOG and for you to decide, like in your communities, what can you learn and take from that. Under our third priority of modernizing the way we pay for transportation infrastructure, a lot of focus on supporting the Capital Area Regional Toll Authority in moving into having its own executive director and being its own entity, and then preparing other managed lane corridors for grant funding. So we want to continue to support I-80 in Yolo County. There's also I-5 in Sacramento County that's doing project development, and then Highway 65 in Placer County. And then you'll also be adopting a comprehensive multimodal corridor plan for Highway 50 so that those projects can be eligible for SB 1 funding. A lot of major corridor work happening this year. Christina has mentioned this as well, but advocacy for projects that have been prioritized in this region for federal grants. That will also be happening for projects that get prioritized for state grants. I won't spend too much time on that. And then your last priority is to build and maintain a safe, equitable, and resilient transportation system. So I want to highlight, I'm not going to go through all the funding stuff because Christina did that in depth, but this is just a reminder, there's a lot of funding that you'll be awarding this year. You'll also, again, be supporting projects that are going after state and federal grant funds. And then the last thing on this is really to try to ensure that SB 375 supports blueprint implementation. And I think we wanted to highlight that because big picture, right? That's what we're trying to be able to do. In transportation, though, I don't want to lose this because you're going to be taking an action on the regional trails network. That's Ready, Set, Trails. So you're going to be adopting a regional trails implementation strategy later this year that's really supporting the local trail implementers who are building out the regional trails network. So we don't want to lose sight of that very important work for that really visionary effort. And then finally, I want to call, because we are going into blueprint implementation, I want to call your attention to a couple of efforts that are really supporting all priorities and all programs, and ultimately cities and counties and those who are advancing transportation in the region. So first is in monitoring, we're going to be measuring progress on blueprint implementation. So both through our regular annual progress report that we publish in November every year, but also this will be the first year that we have to publish our required AB 350 monitoring report. AB 350 required that we have every 2 years monitoring on how is implementation of the plan going in terms of land use and transportation. So we'll be bringing that forward to you this year for the first time. And then lastly, we will be coming to the board to ask for some direction to update our regional household travel survey. This is a core piece of work that for our metropolitan planning functions that we need and want. And it also becomes the foundation for a lot of the transportation planning work that happens in your communities. So this is a big effort. It's going to be a really important tool that's used for SACOG and the region. And we're looking forward to launching that this year. And with that, that is your year ahead. We're very excited to work with you on it, but it is a lot. And I'm happy to take any questions.
It is a lot. That's quite a year. Any questions on this? Yes, I think he felt like he knew this was.
No give backs.
Any questions, comments? All right, I think you covered it. Thank you, Casey. Appreciate it. Well, our last item is our reports, chair's report. Anything left over from my chair report in the last hour is not much. Anything yet that you would like to share?
I'm good. I think I said a lot. Right?
All right, you're good. Just a reminder, and I'm sure if I didn't, then that would remind me, obviously this is really important. So please get that one in. And then also the blueprint on the 27th, you got the flyer. So as anybody that can be there, we appreciate that very much for that support. Anyone have anything, any directors to share? Welcome back. Well, then we'll turn it over to James.
Thank you, Chair Gallardo. Just a few things. Very loud. Okay, so I was actually able just to, the presentations you just heard about the year ahead, I was able to be in DC Monday and Tuesday this week. I was able to join the Metro Chamber on their advanced trip for Cap to Cap, but we got to see the offices of Congressman Thompson, Congressman Barra, Congresswoman Matsui, and we got to meet with Congressman Kiley. And true to what Christina Spence presented earlier, there's definitely talk of, and really the requirement is, we need a new long-term transportation authorization bill in Congress. They want and intend to mark up that bill and have it on the floor, do the markups and the hearings in the spring, have it on the floor by the summer, and pass it by the fall, because the bill expires at the end of September. This is, if you know anything about this bill, maybe like any other bill, that is always the intention, and actually getting there is very hard. And so then we get sort of an extension for a year or an extension for 2 years. But this is what I would say to you. Whatever is in the bill and the text in both the House and the Senate will probably be the text that is picked up next year or the year after when they get enough of the funding figured out, because there's a shortfall in the Highway Trust Fund. So Just because somebody says, actually, it's not going to happen this year, what's going to happen is the text will be written, the framework will be done, and that will be really important to regions like ours. So all by way of saying, please, if you're going to cap, if you're considering cap, go. If you're considering which team to join transportation, the most awesome team of all. No, I'm kidding. There's lots of great teams. And then work with us, and we'll actually do, I think, quite a bit of setup this year for your meetings on transportation, just because things will, we hope, fingers crossed, really be moving by April when the whole delegation is back there for cap. And as you know, one and done is never enough. So we need to be meeting in district. We need to be having conversations. Once a year is not enough, but that's just, and again, my own preview for what's important in the year ahead. You have your committee assignments now. They're going to look a lot like last year's committee assignments about leadership. Thank you, Chair Gallardo, for giving all the input on that. Committees start in February again. So the Transportation Land Use Committee, the Lunar Committee will meet on February the 5th. The Policy Innovation Committee and the Strategic Planning Committee on Monday, the February the 9th. Now, I want to just, for those of you on the Land Use Committee, the Lunar Committee, we are adding to your charge this year, and you'll see this when you convene first on February the 5th, what we call programming and project delivery. And we can explain more to you in committee, but there's a lot that we do behind the scenes at SACOG to deliver projects, to make projects are done on time, on schedule, that we don't lose money in the region, that we swap money between projects, and we're going to run that through the Land Use Committee because the Transportation Committee has a full plate this year, all rolls up to the board. So we can explain a little bit more of that, but I just want to give you a heads up that that is something that we think is an appropriate addition to the charge of the Land Use Committee. And you'll hear more about that February the 5th. And then as Chair Gallardo just mentioned, we really want to celebrate the adoption of our regional plan, of your regional plan, and January 27th at Aggie Square at 9 a.m. I know many of you can't make that. We understand you have conflicts, you have Board of Supervisors meetings, but if you can get your staff to come, we'll be reaching out to a lot of the staff that frankly helped build this plan and shape the plan, and with those local jurisdiction highlights, we'll now be implementing this plan. So this is just a chance to celebrate, to make the region know we've got a strategic plan, we have a vision for the future, and we should be proud of it. And so either you or your staff or your city or county staff can join us the 27th. We'd love to have you. So thank you.
Thank you. Before we adjourn, obviously our next meeting is Thursday, February 19th, same time, same place, 9:30. Hope to see everyone here. And before we adjourn, we do want to take the time from SACOG to stop and recognize the loss of Congressman Doug LaMalfa. It was a stunning loss for a person that was such an advocate for farmers, for rural communities, for water. I know folks that are in that district were absolutely impacted. And I can just tell you that every time when we've been to Captive Hap, he was so gracious with his time to meet with us, and it was very much appreciated. But I did want to give an opportunity if anyone from his area wanted to make any remarks, we'd be happy to hear from you. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I just wanted to echo what you said. The congressman really represented just two of the SACOG counties, but he fought really hard for all rural counties and for issues that were really important to our entire region. You mentioned agriculture, water, flood protection. I mean, those were some of his major things, forest management, things that are important to every county in this region. So he definitely will be missed.
Chair Gallardo.
Yes, Director Haverstuff.
No, you were going to go to somebody else first, weren't you?
Yeah, actually, I think Director Baines, you were, okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
for those of you who had an opportunity to either see it while it was occurring or view it after it, there was an hour-long remembrance in the House of Representatives. And to me, we're all captivated by by headlines. But the love that came and the appreciation, I think Jared Huffman probably said it the best. Didn't always agree with him, but he was never disagreeable. And so, the real appreciation that was bipartisan in that 1 hour remembrance was really, really moving. And, he was a big man, and he had, he embraced it, and he always had a conversation that he would have with us.
Thank you. Director Branscombe.
That will be remembered at an event in Chico, June 24th. You have to sign up, get tickets, I presume security member. Teachers in advance of VIPs other than what? Principal, not way too soon.
Thank you so much. Yes, on the 24th, it's at the fairgrounds in Chico, I believe, and definitely you have to register in advance if anyone's interested. Oh, Director Dowden,
The congressman represented our Auburn Airport for some time until it was redistricted out. And so, you know, he did such a marvelous job for us. Our airport is not contiguous to the city. It's an island in the county. And, you know, so he really just focused his representation for us on the airport. But he was so devoted in his staff to the betterment of our airport and did everything that he could do. And we're just so incredibly appreciative. And I know that airports, you know, the small regional airports were incredibly important to him too. Of course, water, farming, and those other issues that we all know about, but airports was something else. And I just wanted to recognize him and express appreciation for all that he did for us with our small airports.
Thank you so much. I don't think I realized that with your airport, that wasn't in your city. I learned something as well. Immediate past chair.
Thank you.
Soon.
What, in case you guys, the board missed it, we did put a statement out when it first happened. And so I'm glad we were able to say something in his behalf. But for me personally, professionally, you know, Reclamation District 108, his work on Sites Reservoir, you know, Doug Lamalfa was a champion for water, chair of the Western Caucus, which is a very, very influential national committee of representatives dealing with water. It's just, as was said here, very respected statesman. I saw Congressman Garamendi give his testimony in the House, and so I think when you see that, it's a man like that, and you just try to emulate from a leadership perspective how you can be an advocate for those things, those policy issues in your community. And you don't have to agree with everybody, but the amount of respect personally and professionally you can gain, I think it's just a really great example of what leadership should be. So thank you.
Yes, Dr. Johnson.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that I met Doug Lamalfa early in my political career when he was in the state legislature. And he was a very kind, very thoughtful man, tall and very imposing, as you said, but very kind and you know, and he didn't make anyone feel small or, you know, like you were insignificant. And whenever the county went back there to legislate on behalf of Placer County, he always met with us. He never put his staff forward. He always met with us personally. And I think he did the same for cap to cap as well. So, you know, that's a true leader who wants to be there personally and hear your needs. Anyway, he was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Director Blumenthal.
Thanks. Doug Lamalfa, he represented our area and did so in person, which I thought was, you know, amazing that you could call a guy and he'd come and take the time. He had a vast district, as I think most of you know. I think importantly, even recently, and I know Vice Chair Bradford could probably talk to this a little bit more, but he recently, along with Adam Schiff, was instrumental in some improvements at Beale Air Force Base. So I know that a lot of Beale folks live in our respective area. So the fact that we can continue to increase missions at that base is a good thing as well. So he could reach across the aisle every now and then and do good work. But you know, he was just a genuine guy, and you know, he didn't mind meeting you at the In-N-Out if that worked into his schedule. So he just was not a pretentious, and I'm sorry that we lost him because I think he really represented our region, our area very well.
Thank you. Yes, Dr. Sander.
I think I've known the congressman since he was in the assembly. Our paths have crossed a lot. In the past few years, I've accidentally run into him on Capitol Hill for, you know, probably 3 years running in a hallway here or there. I've met with him a couple of times as the National League of Cities, which I was president of, was working to like focus more of our efforts on smaller towns, and villages, how we could best assist them, with access to the federal government. He became active in that effort, which was great. And last year, I will fondly remember this forever, I suppose. I shared a direct flight sitting next to him as a seatmate from Dulles all the way back to Sacramento.
Cool.
That was a long conversation. I think in the middle of it, I had to explain what SACOG was. Not sure I successfully did that because it's difficult to do, but what a truly wonderful guy. And I just endorse what everyone else has said about him.
I'm thinking of those two tall people, who's in the middle seat? That's all I'm thinking. That would so be my luck. Thank you. Well, I think, just bringing it back together, I think I think it's a little bit of healing for everyone. It's wonderful to see that what we appreciate, what he did in his position, and reaching across the aisle, but also the personal touch of what how he will be missed. So certainly, I know they probably are hearing from everyone, but as a group for SACOG, I absolutely would like to send our deepest condolences to his family for that loss. With that, we will adjourn in his honor. Thank you all for being here.
Great job, Chair.